Hey everybody, Steve Schirmer of the Golf Gambling Podcast here with your one and done picks for the 2024 Rocky Mortgage Classic. And we are in the dog days of the PGA Tour schedule. Not very good events coming up, pretty weak fields. You got Rocky Mortgage this week, John Deere next week. After the Open, you got 3M, and you're probably running a little low on some star power. Unfortunately, there's not really a ton of star power in this field. So you're probably going to have to take a couple chances, go out on a limb, pick a couple shaky guys, especially if you are trying to catch up in your one and done contests. And basically what I'm looking for this week with Detroit Golf Club, if you watch the preview, it does not seem like there's a particular fit for a guy who should do well here. I think there's a prevailing bomber narrative, but we saw last year that shorter hitters definitely can have very good success at Detroit Golf Club because there just isn't a ton of adversity. There's a lot of shorter irons. It's not very difficult off the tee. Even when a shorter hitter hits into the rough, they can bounce the ball up to the front of the green for a good look for birdie or just to say par. And that's going to be the name of the game this week. I'm going to be looking for guys who are hitting their irons pretty good, can roll the rock, make a bunch of birdies, take advantage of these par fives as well. That's going to be the key to success at the Detroit Golf Club this week. I don't really care so much what you do off the tee. I just want you to put yourself in the best position possible to score. And that's basically what I'm looking for this week. So I have 5 guys who definitely can score, definitely can go low, who I think could be pretty good picks for your one and done contest this week. Let's start with number 5. How about Ben Griffin? And his last couple starts hasn't been all that good ever since, he came second at the RBC Canadian Open, but he has shown a lot of high upside in his short career on the PGA Tour. Lots of flashes of some hot streaks with a lot of birdies. Makes a ton of birdies on the par fives, a lot of birdies in general, can roll the rock too. And he's hitting his irons really good lately. Even if the results aren't all there, he's hitting it really good, especially from under 150. That's a critical range this week. So why don't you roll with maybe Ben Griffin getting his first PGA Tour win this week at the Rocket Mortgage and making him a one and done pick? I think he's a fine selection there. Number 4, how about Matt Wallace? And he's starting to heat up too. His iron play is really starting to heat up over his last 12 rounds. He was just over in the Netherlands last week, so keeping the game sharp. He finished T15 over there. He's got a couple top 10s recently, and he's been making a ton of birdies this year on the PGA Tour. About 24% of all his holes end up in a birdie. Almost 60% of his par fives end up in a birdie or better too. So he definitely can score and get hot. He came, I think, in top 5, I believe, at the CJ Cup at the Byron Nelson a couple weeks ago too. So he can definitely go low. I like Matt Wallace this week a lot. You can make him as your one and done pick as well. So he's my number 4 pick in the order here. Number 3, how about Taylor Pendrith? Probably a very popular pick, but definitely playing very good golf right now. The iron play isn't very good. He's a guy who makes a ton of birdies and can take advantage of the par fives. If you really are on this bomber narrative this week, Pendrith is definitely a guy for you. Again, playing really good golf right now. A couple top 10s recently, hitting the irons really well. And he's been very good at the Detroit Golf Club. He has a top 5 here a couple years ago, another top 20 finish last year, I believe, too. So you got a horse for the course, lots of birdies, playing well. Seems like a no-brainer one and done pick. He probably will be a little popular, but I expect him to do very well this week at the Detroit Golf Club based on all those reasons. Number 2, how about we keep it rolling with Akshay Bhatia? He was in the mix last week at the Travelers. Final round, back 9 kind of got away from him. He started to lose a little bit of control with the driver, but we saw this at Memorial Park a couple months ago where he got in the mix and just things kind of got away for him, but he sustained it the next week and got the victory. And maybe he is the type of guy that once you start getting close to a win for him, he capitalizes in his very next start. So, maybe that's in order again this week. Maybe he's going to go for a win and be in contention again. And everything you really are looking for this week for a guy that's going to have success at the Rocket Mortgage Classic, he has. His iron play has been heating up. He makes a ton of birdies. He's got some length and pop too, if you're really following that narrative. So Akshay, I think, is probably a very solid one and done pick this week for the Rocket Mortgage. Number 1, you know what? Maybe I'm just being too cute, but This guy hasn't played in a little bit, but he's been playing some really good golf. Seems like he has fully recovered from the injuries that really derailed his career for a year or two. He's played very well in some events that require getting a lot of birdies. He has a prior top 10 at the Rocket Mortgage Classic in Detroit. How about Maverick McNeely? Playing solid golf. Haven't seen him since the RBC Canadian Open, but a lot of these guys are playing a lot of golf lately. Maybe they're starting to get tired. He's going to come in very fresh, making a ton of birdies this year. The iron play has been very good recently as well. He's been driving it good too. So maybe this is a good spot for Matt McNeely to finally get his first PGA Tour win. So he's going to be my one and done pick this week for the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Thank you for watching. If you haven't done it already, please subscribe to the Golf Gambling Podcast YouTube channel, where if you're watching this right now, we give you free content every single week. Also, subscribe to our podcast on Apple or Spotify, wherever you consume your podcast mediums. Go follow us on Twitter, follow us on TikTok. And with that, good luck with your bets this week for the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Good luck with your one and done picks. We'll see you next week.